Okay.
Hi John. Just to show you this this feature here that I'm quite sure is a sauropod print or something similar. You come around here, you can view the basic shape of the print. I guess it's around 60 to 70 centimeters by about 45 maybe. You can see the displacement marks here, which are quite indicative of a lot of weight pushing down.
Put your fingers there again and just show.
You can see this displacement. You can see that the sediment has been bent. It's not layered sediment or a knoll that's been eroded. This layer of sediment is definitely spoon shaped, and it's very similar to what I've seen in Broome. If you look at the side,
what have you seen in Broome? You've seen dinosaur.
I've seen many of these prints in Broome,
and they're acknowledged dinosaur prints.
Exactly, yeah, sauropod prints. This will be a rear foot. And when you look at the layers of the sediment here, you can see the depression with the weight, which is also what you see in Broome. You can see that there's been bending of the layers here and displacement forwards as if it was walking downhill, potentially. The width between the bands is more compressed here or something. And yeah, you can see that it actually makes an effect in the layers down to about a foot below, or 10 inches below the actual the eroded print. And this here is also what you see in Broome. This piece here, this is where the sort of footprint probably was adhered to the rock, and it's peeled off like a scale. You find that they actually peel off, from what I've seen. And this is like an underprint, as they call it. So you can't see any toes or any evidence of that because the print's actually been removed. It's an underprint. Just shows the pressure of a great amount of weight, but it's certainly forward motion as far as I can see. There's something indicative of some large thing putting that weight and moving in that direction, perhaps going downhill.
Now this has clearly come from well up.
Yeah, the only sandstone that looks thick enough looks to be up the top. There's a bit of rock fall here.
Zooming into that now, so we've got the top layers up there.
What's interesting, you can also see sign of invertebrate holes here. The rock is corally muddy holes. These are invertebrate, as far as I know, burrows, like a yabby bank.
Yeah.
Look, there's conglomerate there, showing a freshwater creek potentially. There's all mixed sediment here. We even find little pieces of granite in the rock pools here that have washed obviously out of an ancient stream or something. You see evidence of coral perhaps, or something along the lines of coral. And strangely enough, a lot of the pieces of rock here are weathering in that shape, which is not unlike the footprint itself. I wonder why they're so compressed. A lot of the rocks seem to be that shape.
That white sedimentary material around the edge of it is also in there.
Exactly.
Over in that one.
Things like this are the perfect shape of what could be a foot. So maybe that was compressed and it's made some sort of mould, or I don't know. But it's weird how that shape keeps showing up in the rocks here. This what looks like another print to me. This is probably the best one of all, because again you see the sediment has moved. You can see that this red layer has cupped again, and you see the prints inside that. See how now this is a real print? The other one, the cupping, this cup as I call it, was almost at the top, but that's just a real print. You can see the instep here, the instep mark, and also where the sediment has bent around, and you can sort of see where the footprints come up against the mud or the substrate. It's always seemed like scraping marks of something. It looks, you can see indentations of the toes.
Show me the indentations again.
Here, 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 and here. Which, when you see,
do it slowly.
Is an indentation here.
Okay. Now that's an important one. We want to see this one.
And this here looks like the print from a sideways claw, which is indicative of a sauropod print, as far as I know.
Can you put your hand in that position?
I'll put my finger there. The hand.
Yeah, other way around. Yeah, I know what you mean.
They walk on their toes, like so, and the claws fold under and go across, like so.
Okay, got it.
And they actually walk on their claws, apparently.
So this is Yeah, that's well defined.
Yep.
And then you're saying there's another indentation here?
Yeah, here and here. And if you get a picture of a sauropod rear foot, which is like a tortoise foot, this fits almost perfectly. And there's these two indentations here as well, which are like the side of the foot, like this part of a human's foot here. They also match up to the sauropod rear foot, but this is really important because this looks to be where the front foot went down and the back foot squashed the sediment on the front foot. And the front foot of these animals is supposedly a kidney shape. So if you had imagined a kidney shape and then squashed it, I think you'd get just that. So it looks to me like the front foot, or the manor and pes they're called. I don't know which one's which, I can't remember. But let's say that's the
this
pes.
here.
Yeah, that would be the front foot where it came down. Because they have apparently the front foot's like a horse's hoof. They walk on their fingertips. So their front feet come down like so. And usually the back foot will squash the front footprint out of existence. But now and then the front foot remains, or part of it. This one's a little smaller than the other one. This one looks to be around 50 to 60 centimetres. And I guess the size of this front foot would be around 30 centimetres across, 30, 28. Yeah. And this would be around the 40 centimetres wide, I'm thinking. Obviously this is cracked off here. Yeah, you can see the movement of the sediment. It's probably stopped here, but there's bending of the sediment, not as much as the other one, but who knows how hard this was, but there are some signs of bending on, again, from this sort of weight. The layers correspond with something heavy being pressed, as far as I can see. I guess you have to think that these things would have been, you know, I don't know how many tons, but as big as quite a few elephants, I'd imagine.
Okay. So, there's another one?
Well, not really. I mean, you have this other evidence here, which could have been made by the same type of thing. It does seem to show displacement. It could have been a footprint here at one stage, and that's very far below the sediment. I don't know, but it does seem to have that same sort of cupping. You know, people say to me, oh, this was just a knoll that was eroded, but that doesn't explain why the sediment is cupped. It's not an eroded knoll. The sediment's been bent around as it was displaced. So, yeah, it's like there's been some very heavy weight applied with some sort of forward motion, indicative of a footprint or a walking motion. The variety of rocks is quite incredible. You've got coral to sandstone to conglomerate to mudstone. Obviously, there's been many types of environment here, so it's been a real transition area. If you look at this here, you can see these invertebrate burrows quite clearly down the side. There's the tops of the burrows and how the animals have burrowed in. Evidence of like an ancient mud bank here, which is where you expect these things to be. And there's a cross section of invertebrates, burrows there. Here's all the tops of another set. Many fossils in this area, indicative of shoreline.
Again?
There's another classic one up there that's on the side.
Oh yeah.
Very eroded.
We go up it?
Yeah, we call that the washing machine rock. My daughter actually found that. It's around the same size as the others, but more eroded. And it has that same, interestingly, it has the same round displacement in the centre, yet it goes square. You know, like it goes from round to square, which is quite weird. And here we have the same sized impact area with the centre, the heel sort of thing, and then this displacement. Once again, the displacement, and there's this red layer again in here. You see it? It's not so well defined, but it's cupped. It's not an elbow. It doesn't seem to be an elbow that's eroded. It seems to be a cupped where the sediment is the shape of the footprint. And if you look over there, there's another one.
Another one, yeah.
You know, and who knows if they are what I presume they are, but it's almost like there's more sideways depression than forward. Maybe a very heavy animal is going to displace more sideways. It's going to create sort of like a square. I don't know. And there's that red layer again. Another piece of what shoreline, the ripple stone just jutting out of the
yeah, that's right.
out of the landslide
it's a
there.
beauty, that one.
So that's where it's obviously coming from above. I think those $1 million properties up there are sitting on top of a dinosaur footprint. I'd love to crawl around and see what's still poking out up there, but it's pretty dangerous. I don't think people would appreciate you on their properties, but yeah, there's something going on quite seriously here that's unusual.